Going to call to order the Ways and Means, 9 o'clock. Any additional items to the agenda?
I have no additions or changes, sir.
All right.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda, a second? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Next up is limited public comments. You'll be allowed 3 minutes to speak. If you wish to come forward, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Karen Schaefer, 10906 Stony Creek Road, Powamo. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I've been an accountant and bookkeeper working independently for over 20 years. Over the last 9.5 years, I've been fortunate and had the privilege to work for Clinton County Catalyst. Clinton County Catalyst is an economic development company serving all of Clinton County. Our executive board is made up of local business and educational leaders, some of the most dedicated people I've met. They show up and truly care about seeing Clinton County succeed. And one of my favorite quotes was shared by our board chairman, and it goes something like this: "You can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to be there." And I think our whole executive board follows that philosophy. Another very important group is our membership. We have representations from many industries, including finance, insurance, construction, agriculture, restaurants, media, many others. When leaders from so many different sectors come together to share their successes, challenges, and goals, it creates an incredible opportunity to learn how each of us contributes to the strengths of Clinton County. Catalyst connects with local businesses, entrepreneurs, and communities to collaborate on ideas and help find solutions. This is done through our annual meetings. We have 6 roundtable meetings, we have 2 legislative meetings, and we have 4 quarterly connection meetings with our members. These gatherings are well attended and provide a chance to share information, build relationships, and learn what's happening all across Clinton County. In addition to these meetings, we host an annual dinner, a golf outing, pickleball tournaments, and a fall event. All of these events are held at our local restaurants, community rooms, and outdoor spaces, further supporting the businesses that Catalyst serves. Clinton County is a special place. I don't need to tell you that. It is a personal and personable place to be. I believe Catalyst is that same thing. We bring people together to accomplish goals. We meet our businesses and communities where they are. We attend township meetings, take site visits, contact legislators, and raise funds, whatever is needed to help someone move forward. We listen and work to find the best path to their success, because their success is truly our success. From businesses and communities to parks and schools, and the many professionals who call this place home. Clinton County is the best place to live, work, and play, and Clinton County Catalyst is committed to supporting that in every way we can. So thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak? You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Nick Bancroft, 3055 West M21, St. John's. From AgroLiquid, Bancroft Performance Investments, Bancroft Performance Trucking, Nutrient Research, Agro Expo, IQ Hub, Simmon Brothers, Monty's Plant Food, etc. Business owner and taxpayer in the county, and that's what I'm here as. I'm also one of the executive board members for Clinton County Catalyst, and looking for consideration to support that entity within your economic development spend. AgroLiquid, our company, has grown and expanded across the country, fueled by the ability to manufacture local to our customers. These other businesses have been built and sustained in Clinton County as a result of economic growth throughout the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, and Brazil. Most recently, we're building a facility in northern Florida, a 20-acre manufacturing facility. Assistance from local economic development has proven essential to our success. In our 8 facilities, it was county-level economic development that made the first contact for placement and connection in the county. In at least 12 other geographies that we considered, we had similar experience with county-focused economic development. Regional or state economic development participated only in larger projects, where local economic development proved essential to make those connections. Strong partnerships have been formed with cities, county government, local service and supply businesses, and potential customers in all those geographies on our behalf. I believe that's what we want for our community, and we have an organization headquartered in our county to provide this service to our businesses and municipalities. Clinton County Catalyst is providing many unique value-added services to local businesses. Karen talked about some of those. We also have 2 grant writers that are constantly and consistently working with Catalyst members. We've created legislative meetings for our members to meet face-to-face with their legislators and representatives, constant contact and communication with local issues, assistance, coordinating support across businesses and government. There's currently over 100 contributing companies to this organization, and I look at that as a way for you to leverage your investment and partner with businesses who are already providing funding to support that. My ask is that you consider allocating at least 50% of your local economic development spend to local county level development, of which I think Clinton County Catalyst is a good choice. Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak? All right. Next on the agenda is Veterans Affairs Update. Amy Pocan. Hi, Amy.
So I believe today I was asked to give kind of an update of what's going on with the Veteran Affairs. And I sent a memo in, and so I get to start off by correcting it. As of the end of last week, we received notice from the Michigan Veteran Affairs Agency that the FY25 grants, following a comprehensive legal review, the spending categories and the legal enforcement of the contracts are unable to be enforced because it was a illegal change against the statute. So as of right now, FY26 grants have now reverted back to the original applications, the original language, and so we no longer will need to battle out any changes that were made by the state office. Following that, FY25, we received the adjustments with the grants. There is a bill out there, however, we do not see any movement happening to that bill going forward.
Pardon me, what is the impact of that for us?
So for Clinton, it did not have any impact. We were able to get a strategic plan together, so it would not affect directly what it was. But there was an agreement that went from 90,000 to 63. With the position, we were able to move that position, so we were saving the individual, the counselor, and still be able to make those adjustments. So we did not actually see any financial direct impact to the county with strategic planning, so.
Understand, will this change impact that?
So what's gonna happen, or what happened at the end of '25 is basically the entire surplus got cleared out. So there was no rollover funds, everything got cleared to baseline. So for FY26, the grant amount is $58,535. So where the statute reads is $50,000 is the base rate that they grant out, and then based on the population of veterans in the county, there's a per capita, which is where the $8,000 is coming in. So we're kind of back to where we were in 2019 with regards to the numbers and the way that we're starting with that amount of money going forward. But the good side of that is receiving our grants for '26 right after the budget was passed from the state is they cut 50% of the allowables. So that was part of that biggest dispute is we went from quality of life programs, positions, and everything to 50% of those allowables were cut, and it was only positions and training costs. So for Clinton, it didn't really impact because we're still using the grant for a position. We're still doing a full-time position under the grant. However, some of those additional costs, like if we can do an amendment, if we don't, use up all the money, those were all removed. So we were battling with the legislators and asking them to change all those back, and we just received notice that those were given back. In your memo, there's actually 2 specific languages that were written in the grant agreements that had some legal components to it that we disputed. One was the state strategic plan was put into the grants, which actually goes against the statute. And then the second component of that was the state of Michigan was reserving the right to request a termination of a grant employee. That's very hard. These employees, specifically the Clinton County employee, is actually a UAW employee, which would go against the UAW contract. So those have all now been moved. That was as of the end of last week, right after I wrote the memo. So we officially are starting fresh, hoping for a very clear 2026 moving forward. In regards to our service agreement, so I think there's some questions about really how the service agreement between the 2 counties work. So because this service agreement has been around since 1981, the 2 counties with the 2 departments have very much been merged now. So as of right now, there are 7 staff members. We are down 1 right now. And just to give you a heads up, on December 5th, we will be down 3 staff members due to retirements. So from a team of 8, we'll be down to a team of 5 as of December 5th. So we are shorthanded, but there is a Clinton County full-time position that is funded through the grant, and then the remaining balance was paid through the service agreement. So that is what that position looks like. That person works 40 hours. They are in the office seeing Clinton County clients while in Ingham County. So the entire face of the office has merged both counties together. It says Ingham and Clinton County Department of Veteran Affairs. So not only does the Clinton County grant person see Clinton County clients, but so does any other service officer in the department. So including myself as the director, I have clients in Clinton County and in Ingham County. So there's very much a full-time merge. With the time here in the courthouse, here in St. John's, the new employees started in July, which was great, but they only got accredited October 24th. So legally, you cannot do a claim for any veterans until you are accredited. So there's a legal component we have to be mindful of, and that has a lot to do with they can meet with clients, but you've got to go through another service officer. So we've been in a transition, and at the end of October, they finally were accredited, and so now we are working on their 24 months of basically on-the-job training to get them up to speed so they can handle a full caseload. With the intention, we would increase days to the Clinton County office here, but at the same time, they will be seeing people in Ingham County too.
Question again, so, does our Clinton County person, is that a full-time 40 hours or is that part-time?
Full-time.
Full-time,
Full-time, 40 hours working.
okay, and I don't know if you said this or not, but how much more money are you looking at to come from us to you?
Okay, so the projected budget that we talked about when I was here last was roughly, with the service agreement, it was gonna be about 115,000. Currently, I have brought to the attention of the county that the service agreement equation used was created in the 90s, prior to the grants even being situated. So right now, we are reviewing and going into detail of a new service calculation, because now that I've been the director a couple years, we've went through this together. It's just not kind of like officially adding up, and we need something simpler, and in all honesty, a little more stability, so there isn't such large fluctuating numbers every time I come. You know, I kind of feel like I'm dropping a huge amount that wasn't predicted. So we want to give stability to that number where, you know, if we do see a change, it would be if the employee is taking a step in their position, you would just see the fluctuation in that number. You wouldn't see so many fluctuations in regards to activities and, you know, how those are looking and who in the county is seeing them and then who's not. So we're looking at recalculating that right now. I did speak to John. That has not been completed. That is still with our accounting team right now at Ingham County. I'm hoping to bring that back and then discuss if need be.
Commissioner, you had something to say.
Thank you, Bob. We have a question from another commissioner who's not able to be here today. He received questions about the possibility of someone being here in this building full-time. And so it sounds like that is the intent to bolster that. Could you explain sort of what that's going to look like and
What the projection looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting with a brand-new person. It takes 24 months to get them completely on their own where they do not need training or supervision. So we are very much in the beginning of that phase. What that will look like is we will increase to 2 days a week, which would be the Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we will go into the 3 days a week, and then at most, probably 4 days a week, because there is kind of a case review that must be happening as a whole for the whole department. So 4 days a week would be the full-time situation we would eventually move up to. And that's what we're planning. We were very close to it a couple years ago, and unfortunately, that employee decided to resign and went to the federal government, so.
Is that Barry? Is that Barry you're talking?
No, it was Kyle when he was here. So, yeah, there's a lot of shift, and that's part of looking at the service agreement too, is the shift in the position and the competitiveness of staying in the position. And so all of that is currently being looked at for a new position, or a new proposal.
I have one more question. So, let's say I meet someone that could use your services. Could you walk us through just kind of what that process would look like? Is there a number? Do we call?
Yep, we always direct everybody to the main line in Ingham County. So the main line is 517-887-4331. So they call into the main line. The main line person will actually screen them, are they Ingham or Clinton County? So we have a even distributing of clients, and then they will get sent to a service officer. The service officer will then, over the phone, do a pre-screening of benefits and questions. Because sometimes in the veterans community, you have people that are using the healthcare system, but they know nothing about claims. So a lot of that stuff needs to kind of be weeded out in the first screening process over the phone. Then we move into an in-person appointment. And you definitely have to kind of sit down and go through. There's a lot of details with the VA that requires our manual labor of getting records and going through some pretty intense, both physical and mental questions because of just the nature of veterans in the community. So that in-person appointment must have. After that, a couple things can happen. Claims can happen, or applying for just supportive services can happen. We do have from, I believe it was 2 years ago, we do have an emergency assistance program for Clinton County
Okay.
based on a amendment from some grant money previous years. And so there is an emergency assistance funds that is looked at also if need be. And so we do kind of this overall situation, quality of life, to determine what does the person actually need. Is it beneficial to do claims? Is it beneficial to do counseling? Is it beneficial to just do healthcare, or is it emergency assistance? Because quality of life is the goal, right? The change to quality of life is always where we're at. And so once that happens, it really depends on where everybody's at. And then from there, I think last year we were at 1.5 million for Clinton County for retros. I mean, claims come through, and claims did not stop during the federal shutdown at all. Claims were still coming in, and so that is a plus to the community across the board. So
Thank you.
hope that helps answer questions.
Yep, and where we sit, is that phone number, do we know if that phone number's on the door? Like if someone were to walk in here, can they walk up to the door where you'd normally meet someone and see the information?
It is on the door. I was just looking at it when I came in this morning,
Okay.
and we're gonna modify that because it does say Tuesdays and Thursdays here, and so I think that was a past one, but the phone number is on the door, so I'll change that up.
Thanks for what you do.
Okay.
Any other questions? No?
Might you say something about the situation, what's happening in Clinton County with homelessness and veterans?
So we don't actually see a lot of homelessness veterans in Clinton County. It's in the standard sense of seeing it compared to like Ingham, right? What we do see is like financial situations or financial hardship. A lot of times with that, most of the time the veterans have never looked into their benefits ever. And so we are looking at a full-on assessment to address that. There are multiple different like monetary benefits that a veteran can receive that doesn't necessarily revolve around service-connected disabilities. And so sometimes they've never looked at any of those. And so a lot of times, we are gearing up when someone is in a financial situation across the board or even homeless, that's what's going on.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you, Amy, for the
Thank you.
update.
Yep, thank you.
All right, next we have medical examiner contract renewal with U of M Health Sparrow, that's Michelle.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, hopefully everybody has the agreement.
No, actually, no, I'll give that brief update. I received the proposed renewal agreement, yesterday. I did, submit it, to the council for a review, just because there were some changes, in the formatting and probably more related to the council that wrote it, because now with, obviously changed affiliation from dealing with Sparrow directly and now part of the U of M Health System. So I requested that be returned by Monday, so they do not have the agreement. We did include in the communication the proposed renewal for 2026. The amount that had been previously discussed, it was the 175,967 for the ME services.
Okay.
Do we need sorry, do we need a motion? No?
If you're comfortable making that motion now, yes, or if you have questions, there will need to be a motion to recommend approval. I would ask that it be obviously subject to completion of a satisfactory legal review by county council.
That's my motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who's gonna second? Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
No other questions?
Okay, I don't even need to speak then.
I'm sorry, did you want to talk a little bit?
No,
or-
I was just gonna
Okay.
explain kind of where those numbers came from and what's but if you don't.
Yeah, I think
you're
that
all
would,
good.
yeah.
Okay, so I was just gonna, just gonna explain, back in March, we did send the letter explaining, to everybody at the county, that our current contract period was gonna end at the end of this year. And it is a larger increase than we normally see, in the new contract, for 2026 through 2029. So it is a 4-year contract, and that is based on the laws that support the medical examiner's appointment. So, medical examiners are appointed for 4-year terms, or, 4 years for, Dr. Markey, will be our continued medical examiner, through UMH Sparrow, and then, of course, you guys will continue that appointment, with the new contract. We do have a new physician that is, joining us, Dr. Rahaman. That's not for Ways and Means, but that is for the county commission. But it's a 4-year agreement, and the increase is kind of twofold. It was because of federal laws that changed, taking our contractors, that were field investigators, they were contracted, and we are now forced, because of changes to federal laws, we've been forced to move them to employed status. And then also, the original contract was based on numbers of anticipated autopsy cases and anticipated cases from the previously appointed medical examiner. And that was far lower than the cases that we brought in, to be examined by our doctors. So, those actually increased somewhat significantly. And we do have our 2024 numbers that are out. That annual report will be sent over to you guys to here soon. But I think we based our original numbers in 2022 on historical data, which was about 28 cases being transported for exam by a medical examiner. And in 2023, we're at 50, and in 2024, we're at 45. So, those numbers did go up a little bit. But that's pretty much all I wanted to, I guess, start with. But you guys already voted, so we're all good. Any questions?
Done deal.
All right. Yeah, I think we're good.
You guys are easy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Sheriff's Office.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's the first one? Donated funds. Sheriff's Office is coming before you today to request approval to spend some of our donated funds. I believe it came before the board here a month ago where there was another donation made. I have updated our fund totals here in the board memo for you to review. We're asking for some donated funds to be used to purchase 7 additional rifles for our road patrol, including optics and lights. That will provide everybody with their own rifle on the road patrol to keep with them, to set how they want. But rifles are a bit different than handguns. Obviously, everybody's assigned their own handgun, but we want everybody to have their own rifle as well because they set everything up perfectly for them. So 7 would allow each deputy on road patrol to have their own to carry with them. That way they have to maintain it on their own, clean it, take care of it, qualify with it, just like their handgun. We're also asking for a portion of from the canine donations to be used for some training for our 3 canine handlers, and $3,000 from the dive team for some training and to purchase some lead weights and some scuba tanks. So that's up to $3,000.
How many canines do we have?
3.
3.
2 on the road patrol, 1 in corrections.
What kind of rifles are these?
Rock River,
Rock River? Not familiar with that one.
very good brand.
Okay.
Yep.
Any,
Move, Mr. Chair.
I'll support.
okay, you guys want to move forward? Okay, all right. We have a motion, a second to approve total expenditures of $22,080. That's for 7 rifles, training for 3 canine handlers, and for equipment for the dive team. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
I did have a question I'd like to ask, though.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Discussion.
sorry, Dwight.
Discussion, please. Is there any likelihood, possibility, or do you even explore using what I see like foam guns or some kind of guns that don't have bullets but constrain people, or is that even real?
So we have those now, less lethal projectile firearms that we have. They're actually 12-gauge shotguns that are converted to only use what we call, it shoots like a sock out that's full of like,
A beanbag?
yeah, there you go, beanbag round, I'm sorry. It's a beanbag round. So we do have less lethal options in our patrol cars. Every officer has one of those in their cars that they carry. So we do have those options that we use now. And they have been used in the past, and they're a great tool, very effective for a less lethal type option.
Thank you.
Do all the patrol, do they all have rifles in their
Yes.
vehicles? Okay.
In their vehicles, they all take them out. Some of them are shared right now, and that's what we're trying to get away from with buying these 7 new ones.
Yeah.
So, yep, everybody will have their own.
Any other questions? All right. Let's see, the next item here was police services contract for Victor Township.
So I was approached by Victor Township here a couple months ago in regards to them wanting some extra police services within the township. We have these contract services currently with both Westphalia and Fowler Villages. We explored essentially setting up the same type of contract with them to give them 8 hours of police protection per week, 416 hours on the year, where they'll have extra coverage. They'll have an officer there that they can rely on for, we will now be able to enforce if they have any type of ordinance violations or anything like that that needs to be taken care of within their township.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Any comments, Commissioner, since that's your district and you live there?
Thank you for doing that.
There we go.
Around the holidays especially, I see all sorts of stuff. Just
Yeah,
having you guys
absolutely.
around is gonna be great, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and thank
It'll
you
be a good
to
thing.
Victor Township for supporting that.
Yeah, Andrew, do you want to come up and say any words about the contract, or?
Sure,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah, come on up.
guy, because I know the microphone doesn't travel well.
You can move it.
All right, perfect. Good morning, good morning. So yeah, we are looking to enter into this contract services agreement, and I'm hoping we can have all your guys' support for this as well. This has been something that I reached out to the undersheriff about here, and we had some conversation about regarding having some extra police protection, police coverages. Additionally, it gives us the options to be able to enforce any ordinances that we have, because we're not a charter township, we don't have our own police departments like DeWitt or Bath does. So I've worked with our township attorney, David Revore, which the undersheriff here is familiar with as well. And we basically kind of come up with this idea, if we have a services contract, they can enforce some of our ordinance stuff that we have as well. This originally started as a conversation that we may explore some additional ordinances down the road. At this time right now, that's not going on, but we do have some in place currently that this will authorize the our deputy sheriff to be able to enforce these things. One thing I want to make clear here too, so that everybody knows, is that this is not going to incur more cost to the county in terms of prosecuting these types of offenses if they are ordinances. So that falls back on us at the township. We have our own township attorney. So I just want to make sure that that's clear, that everyone understands, like, it's not going to put a bigger burden on the prosecutor's office or something like that. The undersheriff and I talked about that as well, that's going to go through our township attorney, and he's on board with that as well. I think this is a great thing. I took a little bit of, we'll call it interrogation about it, of why do we need this? Why do we want to have this? This is leadership, folks. We're the only general law township that has this in our county now, or will have this with your approval and support. I don't want to be at the tail end of this, trying to come onto it after 2 or 3 other people have already come up with the idea of doing it. This is how it should be. You made a comment to me a few months ago up here about talking about townships and this board working together and having this dialogue back and forth with one another with a planning and zoning issue that came up. This is exactly what we're doing right here. We're solving problems together, bringing the group together as a collective to provide better service for our residents. This is exactly why I got involved in politics. It's exactly why I'm sitting at this table today. This is what our people want. They demand this out of us. And I think this is a great example of both of our board, and then both this board, along with the undersheriff here, all working together to solve a problem for our people. So.
Commissioner, you gonna make the motion?
Well, make a
Well,
motion.
Did anybody have any more
I had a
questions? John?
Yeah. So I saw in the contract, there's, I think it's the payment would be for 1 week each month that would be reimbursed to the sheriff's office, or can maybe speak a little bit more so I don't say something's wrong.
Yep, so ultimately, the contract that was presented to me includes for 416 hours of patrol per year. They break it out into 8 hours per shift per month of contracted time out there. And then the payment, I asked in our last board meeting, we got this approved for a budget amendment, because the fiscal year for general law township is April to April. So we needed to do a slight budget amendment to cover this to start for January of '25 when we want to do this. So the payment then would obviously come to you guys. You guys are the pot holders for where the money comes, not to them. And I'm assuming that there would be a bill or something generated from the county's administrator's office, comes to us. We'll send you the payment for it and push it forward. It works out to about $13,000 and some change per year at the top deputy wage right now, which I believe is $33.07 per hour. So we'll take that top deputy wage and do that. Now, there is a clause in there that talks about if we needed additional coverage. One of the examples I would give with that, sometimes when we have hot button issues that come into meetings, they ask for a deputy or something like that to come out. And that's understood in that contract that would be at the time and a half rate, because obviously they're going to authorize overtime to come out for this, so that we would reimburse that. I don't see that really being an issue for our township, but it is in there and does cover that. And then for our fiscal year 26 and 27, starting in April, then it would be for the full amount for that. So there'll be a partial amount for this year, and then a full amount starting in April for our new budget year.
Because I think it said something about based on salary, the reimbursement or whatever. But what I was wondering about, that's for the deputy's time, but what about the sheriff vehicle that he's going to, or he or she'll be using? Is that going to be part of that, or?
There is not.
Or is the sheriff's going to take over for any, wear and tear on the vehicles and things like that?
Yeah, that's not built into the.
There's no overhead built into
There's
this,
no overhead.
this agreement, no.
Okay. That's a good deal for you guys then.
It's a great deal for Victor Township.
But also keep in mind, I mean, the sheriff does have responsibility for law enforcement in the general township. This agreement just dedicates a specific amount of time,
Right.
so.
Right.
And
But there'll be a car or truck in there the whole time.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how this works, but if, as I'm putting it together, our sheriff's department will like go enforce fines and ordinances that have been established by Victor Township? And is that okay if they're like not what Clinton County's ordinances are? There's like one case for instance, that I'm thinking about where it's like, it's not a county ordinance, but it's the township ordinance. And I'm wondering, will the county be required to enforce that?
So the county would be required, or we would, I don't like using the word required, because ultimately, and we had some big debate on our township board about this. We're the legislative body sitting here, right? It's our job to pass things that we want as quality of life, whatever that may be for our residents. Law enforcement is the executive branch of our government. That's their job to use their discretion to say, hey, I think this is a violation, or I don't think this is a violation, and apply, all the factors that go into that: common sense, call history, amount of times you've been involved in something or whatnot. So I don't like using the word required to enforce it, but it would give them the option to enforce it. And one of the things, the only really logistical change of that is, instead of, most of the time, the sheriff's deputies are enforcing state law, versus this would be a local ordinance. And if there was a local ordinance violation, it's just a simple checkbox in the citation that moves it over to the local ordinance column, and then that signals that that's not a county ordinance, that's a local ordinance. And written right into, like, I'll give you for an example, our cemetery ordinance. It specifically outlines in that a deputy sheriff can enforce that for a violation in it, whether it be, unleashed dogs or destruction of graves or any of the things that, commonplace things that you see in those. So it doesn't contradict what the county has or whatnot, but it gives us more flexibility. If there is something that's important at a local level, we also have the ability now to take and enforce that. And in the prior boards, what's happened is that responsibility's fallen back on either the supervisor or the treasurer or the clerk. And I don't know very many supervisors, treasurer, or clerks that want to go out and tromp around and issue citations for violations. I think that's more of a role that push off to that executive branch, with them. So that's kind of the idea with it.
Nicole?
I'm going to make a motion to approve the proposed contract with Victor Township, allowing the sheriff's office to strengthen public safety services within the township while ensuring full cost recovery for the county.
Support.
And Bruce?
Just a quick, to follow up on John, as far as the vehicle would be in use anyway.
Yeah, there's no additional overhead built into this.
Yeah.
There's no additional overhead.
They'd be there anyway.
It's gonna be in operation anyway,
Yeah.
so it's not something we need to seek reimbursement for.
As long as they don't come to my neighborhood, it's okay.
Just watch out for the deer out there. There's lots of them.
Yeah. But that deputy would be, I mean, if something else came up in the county, that deputy would be going there if they were the closest person, I imagine.
Correct. But I just wanted to make sure that you didn't start the assumption that we're spending additional money.
I figure that's on the sheriff. It's coming out of their budget.
Because we have the car in service anyway, or the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's more of a scheduling and assignment practice, realistically.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Dwight, second. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I commend the supervisor for this and the sheriff, because it makes sense to make Clinton County a safer place for people to move to.
Absolutely.
Great.
100%.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep.
All right, next up is Waste Management, Annual Recycling Option Reports. Kate? Good morning.
So this is my annual report on who's recycling with what and how much it costs. I usually have this out a little earlier in the year, but it was harder to wrangle numbers out of a couple of my municipalities this fall for some reason. So I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Hurt yourself. so much.
This is for 2024 specifically, and I'm already working on this year's report for next year, but I don't know if anyone has any questions, thoughts, or comments for me.
I'd just like to say Kate's done a marvelous job. This has been a very successful program for as long as I've been here. And continues, and that's, speaks highly for Clinton County.
Thank you.
I did notice that, at East Lansing DPW where they have they've got far fewer, the big cargo thing that they look
Roll-off
like.
containers, yeah.
Yeah. For the cardboard and stuff, they've got that new baler.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know how it works, but it
Yeah,
looks pretty
so-
small for all.
Right. We talked about this at the township officers meeting last night, because another person had used it, and they're like, for one, she wanted to know if it was okay if she was using that site, and I was like, absolutely, it's in Clinton County. We have, the city of East Lansing's been really good to work with, but, yeah, they're baling some of their product now in an effort to reduce shipping and trucking costs.
Okay.
And it's still going to the same place, which is Terra, which is, it's a material recovery facility in Lansing. And then that's where the materials are being processed and sorted and then rebaled and then shipped to the end markets from there. But yeah, they're trying to decrease trucking costs and decrease contamination issues by making it harder for people to just chuck a couch into an open top
Yeah.
roll-off.
Yeah,
So you laugh, but it happens. And, so,
especially with
yeah.
college kids.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, I feel like they got an infrastructure grant for that, I'm not 100% sure how they funded that baler, but, I can ask Cliff, my contact there, if you want more information on it. But, yeah, it's interesting, we're all kind of waiting to see how it shakes out for them, how it works, so.
Yeah, at first we thought they just removed a bunch of
Yeah, you're like,
things
what's
that we
going
can
on?
recycle everything now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, it looks like it's gonna work.
Yeah, yeah.
Any other questions?
I mean, I feel like it's important for me to reiterate that I'm in contact with my municipalities on the regular, especially with the materials management plan process, and reminding them that anytime they have a question about recycling, to contact our office, because we can help them with funding, we can help them with planning, we can help them with contracts, outreach and education, like that's what we do. So, yep.
Excuse me. All right, we have a requested action to place on file.
Sure.
Support.
All those, any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Kate.
it. Anytime you have questions, let me know. I love to talk trash all the time. Every day. Thank you.
That's funny, thank you. All right. Next up, equalization. Good morning.
Morning. I cut that one perfect. So you have before you this morning the amended portion report of the 4 items that were on the November 4th ballot. There was one, Victor Township, that approved a 1.5 mil increase for, actually a new millage in addition to the existing one for emergency services that takes effect in the winter levy. That is the only change to the prior, yes, it is. So that's before you for approval. If you have any questions, please let me know.
What's our effective millage rate right now after all the Headley and all the other? What are we,
Overall,
five
I'd have to
point
dig in
something?
here and look. For the county, 5.7416, I believe it is.
Okay, thanks. I couldn't remember, so.
Yeah. I think it's 5.717.
Yeah.
Was the last I saw.
Reduced, yeah,
Yeah.
Being a pensioner, I really need to know that, so.
right. So,
Need a motion, Mr. Chair?
Was there any more discussion? Yes, I will need a motion.
I'll do that.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Support.
Nikki, support?
Mr. Chair, I'm being respectful of my colleague who's got to go to, what do you got, a field day at 10:30?
Yes, I do have a field day. Thank you.
Trying to move it along.
I appreciate that.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Again, if you ever have any questions, just stop into the office. More than happy to sit down and go over things.
Great.
Do we still have money, Mr. Director?
Well, that would be up to Mr. Fuentes.
Well, I mean-
I would say that the tax levy is
We're good. We're not like other municipalities around us. We have money here, so,
we do.
That's more for
We're
the
not running in the
audience.
red. Yes,
great.
thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, next up is treatment court, grants, administration.
Yeah, the court was, received grant awards from the State Court Administrative Office. And however, the awards were actually less than what the applications were. We obviously were not aware of that until the budget was adopted in the wee hours of September 30th. So the request before, well, I should say, the State Court Administrative Office has also indicated that there will likely be an opportunity for reallocations of unexpended grant funds from the statewide allocation. It's not gonna occur until the third quarter of state fiscal year, which will be the quarter ending June of 2026. And therefore, based on the reduced awards, the programs are short by the reduced budgets by an amount of $3,500 for the Journey Court program and $9,000 for the Veterans Treatment program. And in the anticipation of seeking reallocations through that third quarter process, I'm recommending that we consider increasing the opioid grant amounts as a stopgap measure this year so the programs can continue. The Journey Court has sufficient funds approved to cover the personnel expenditures through the end of the current grant cycle. However, there are no programmatic expenditures, which are programmatic are the defense attorneys participate in the Journey Court program, which is separate and independent from anything they do with respect to the indigent defense. This is a specialty. That's why it does not go through the indigent defense program. It's funded by this this grant through SCAO. And the Veterans Treatment Court, which just started last year, it has sufficient personnel expenditures approved to get us through May, which closely corresponds to the request for the reallocation that we will be seeking. And it also does a portion of that. There are very limited, I think only to cover through November, to continue to cover the programmatic expenses for the Defense Council's participation in the Veterans Treatment Program cases. So in order to avoid disrupting the program while we seek that reallocation of state funds later this year, I'm recommending that we do this stopgap increase to get us through to that time. And obviously, it is a local expenditure, and rather than request an increased appropriation through the general fund, I'm recommending the current grants be increased from the opioid grant agreements that are in place.
Nicole?
When we issued these grants, we had discussed having the recipients report on a quarterly basis. And we also discussed in that process how many people were served, whereas they were looking at about 6 people per year and, the capacity was 12. I think it would be really nice to have them come and give us a report as to how the program's going and.
They are
how many
reporting
people-
quarterly that has not obviously been presented to the committee in the interest of time. They're submitting quarterly program reports as required by all of the grantees to county administration. So if the request is to have those reports discussed by the grantees here, I can certainly coordinate that.
I think that might be a good idea, but I don't.
But again, I have not, in the interest of time for the committee, have not scheduled those at this time, but certainly.
To save us time, 'cause we spend way too much time here anyway, why don't we just give them to us and then come once a year and tell us?
With the year coming up, I wonder if it would be a good time to have the opioid task force meet and be in consideration on this and figure out where we want to go for the following year and funding. And if there's any
Remember,
needs.
the grants were approved for an 18-month period to begin to coordinate with the county's fiscal year. So the current grant agreements extend through December of 2026.
I hope people understand, these are not part of the opioid money directly. I mean, some of these happened, let me rephrase that. Yeah, they're grants we received because of opioid, but we have programs currently that keep people out of jail, and that's the purpose of these. It's not, I don't worry about 12 grand. If it keeps people out of our jail, that's worth a whole lot more than 12 grand.
I do agree with you. I would think it probably makes sense to have that group meet and review the reports. I don't know, but I agree with you as well, Bob. I just think.
Any other discussion?
Do you need a motion for this?
I need a motion to recommend increase in the Journey Corps opioid grant agreement by $3,500 and the Veterans Treatment Court opioid grant agreement by $9,000.
I don't want to hog all the motion, somebody else can do it. Great.
Moved.
White,
Bill supported.
do I have a second?
Support. Great.
On support, any further discussion?
I would say it would be really nice to hear where they're at with this, how many people are being helped and what
Yeah.
that update would be.
I will certainly coordinate that.
Or at least send us the data. They've got it written down. I don't have them come and talk to me, just tell me what it is and come at some other time, so.
I guess I would like some clarity. Do we want a presentation or do we want the data? I
Send
just
the
need
data,
to.
you know, send data.
Since you brought it up, what would be
That's
your
fine. The
preference?
information would be great.
Okay.
Okay, great. Any further discussion? All right, all those all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, next up is planning update. Tanner. Good morning, Tanner.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Tanner is here this morning, and I will just start the update by welcoming him in this capacity as the director. So I need to be giving the report and moving forward.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, presenting information from the Planning Commission, there were 3 petitions recommended for approval. The first petition was a special land use permit for a home occupation Class B in Duplain Township, passed 5-0, all in favor. Next was a special land use permit for a home occupation Class B as well, located in Greenbush Township, with a vote of 5-0, all in favor. And finally, we had a application for a zoning map amendment, rezoning property approximately 3 acres from general agricultural to rural residential.
And those will obviously be on the Board of Commissioners' agenda for the board approval on Tuesday. So if you have any questions, I believe the material was sent out either late yesterday or the detailed information was sent out either late yesterday or you'll receive it today. Yep. If you have any questions, obviously, get with Tanner.
We're available in office anytime.
Any questions for Tanner?
I was just gonna say, Mr. Chairman, we have one more item in the planning update. I'm gonna turn it over to Todd. There's a memo in your packet.
Thanks, John. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
You have a memo talking about multiple resident drives, MRDs, specifically a maintenance agreement. So as the memo states, the county zoning ordinance in section 5.15, multiple residence drive, MRDs, requires a standard maintenance agreement language for applicants wanting to use an MRD. The county does not currently have that standard maintenance agreement language. Excuse me. So staff reached out to the county legal counsel to draft a standard maintenance agreement, and that's the document that you have attached to the memo for consideration. Just a couple of highlights, some of the specifics of the maintenance agreement, language address liability and responsibility of the parties to the agreement. And so let me back up. For those that maybe are wondering what's an MRD, it's when you have multiple residents on essentially a private drive, right? So you have houses off of one drive. And so you want to maintain that. Snow and ice removal, maintaining width and surface for the ingress and egress of emergency vehicles, ensuring proper drainage, et cetera. Also, the agreement language includes a mechanism for what's called the Drive Maintenance Fund, basically a bank account where they would fund those parties of this MRD would put in equal amounts of money, so there's money there to do whether snow removal or ice, whatever it might be. Also, the language provides for the county to be a third-party beneficiary of the agreement and may compel the parties through injunctive or other relief to maintain the easement and the MRD if the county determines the easement or MRD has fallen into disrepair and not up to the standards that are required. Per the maintenance agreement, if the county is forced to compel maintenance through legal action, the parties acknowledge, part of this agreement says the parties acknowledge that the county is entitled to its actual attorney fees and cost. Lastly, the maintenance agreement will be recorded with the county register of deeds and it will be referenced in all the deeds of all the parcels accessing that MRD. Lastly, we would recommend that the committee, if you so choose, would recommend approval of the maintenance agreement language as presented to the Board of Commissioners. Happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead.
So would this apply to only new multiple drives moving forward, meaning everything that's there is, okay? And then, so who establishes the dollar amount that you put into this thing?
They do, the part, that,
Okay.
that group.
Okay.
Yeah, what's generating the need for this?
We have a request for the approval of a special land use to establish a multiple residence drive. And through the work of the planning department, it was determined that there was not a standard agreement that had been created since the ordinance was adopted, the most recent ordinance in 2022. And the ordinance specifically refers to a standard agreement. So,
John, do you care if I clarify one thing?
No, go ahead.
For the MRD purposes, it was talked about a special land use. It's actually a site plan review.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, so that's not going to come before the Board of Commissioners or anything. That was voted on approval at the Planning Commission, so.
So the ordinance calls for this type of document to be utilized. Now, under the language of the ordinance, it also provides for parties to develop their own, which would need to go before the Board of Commissioners for consideration. So given the site plan that was before us, the timeline did not change relative to consideration by the Board of Commissioners to be able to consider an agreement. So we move forward with the development of this agreement that will be used going forward.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, we do it, oh, Bruce?
Do we really need to be involved as the third party? Do we want to be involved as the third party?
We would not, as a matter of course, want to be. However, the primary purpose of the agreement is to ensure that the drive is maintained in such a way that particularly emergency vehicles will be able to access that. So in the county's interest to protect the public safety for emergency responder response, such as ambulances or fire, we would want to become that third-party beneficiary to be able to enforce it if the parties did not maintain it properly. I mean, it would never be the county's intent.
And this only applies to currently to the townships, we still do planning, it's not like cities, townships, or.
Correct, and they would presumably have their own requirements if their local ordinances provide similarly for private drives.
Makes me wonder, but that's okay.
Okay, we do have
I just have one thing to say. I just want to thank the office. You guys do a great job. Janelle always answers the phone and calls you back, and congratulations. Best of luck. You got this. And all I can say is that the most important thing to the residents that I talk to is that communication when they're within that 300 feet of whatever's going on with the permits, and as well as the townships, you know, making sure you double check their opinion on stuff and just consider that. And really, truly, you know, if you need anything, let me know. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have a motion to approve the multi-residence driveway MRD maintenance agreement language as presented in your packet. Do I have a motion?
Oh, sure.
Second. Dwight? Any further discussion?
I wouldn't want the political parties to think that we're prejudiced, so it's good that we're both doing this.
All right. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Tanner. All right, next is the December 25 open meetings and event calendar.
So move to accept.
I don't like Republicans anyway, but that's besides. What is it?
I made a motion to accept the calendar.
The calendar.
Oh, my size is XXL, by the way.
Support. Support. John, were there any changes or?
Yeah, due to the,
holidays?
due to the holidays in December, the Board of Commissioners meeting will actually be on Friday, December 19th, rather than its a normal last Tuesday of the month, which would happen to be the day before the New Year's holiday. So, and that, of course, affects the scheduling of the committee meetings, which will be held on Tuesday, December 16th. So make note of that. And but those are the only
What was
changes.
December 16th as well?
December 16th will be the committee meetings. It's a Tuesday.
Oh.
Yep.
For
And
what it's
that,
worth, combining the two together has been the tradition here for as long as I've been here. Good or bad, that's the way it works.
and then the board meeting will be on a Friday rather than the normal Tuesday.
And then we have our holiday luncheon right after that board
Yeah.
meeting on the 19th. So, all right. Any other discussion? All right.
Make sure you RSVP to the luncheon if you have not already done so.
Hey, Penny, I'll be there, okay?
That's the 19th?
The 19th, yeah.
At what
It's
time?
always good too.
Luncheon's at
Mr. Chairman, I mean
11.
to interrupt, but who's our vendor this year for the food?
Krista Mead.
Oh, yeah, they do good, okay.
Very good. All right, do I have a motion to approve the calendar?
I already did.
Oh, do I have a second? Support. John, support. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next up is the accounts payable invoice and paid totals.
I do not have any comments. Information that you provided.
As that's getting passed around, we'll move on to commissioner comments.
You got to approve it.
Or I'm sorry, yeah. So very good. So move, and did I have
You move.
a second?
I will support that.
You support? All right, all those, any further discussion?
I have one question about the maintenance building. How's that coming along? I saw we paid some bills in there for that.
Good, I know that we were, most importantly, we were working with the contractors to get the parking poured before the cross laws went into effect. So they were working on that the last couple weeks, I know. So we're making good progress on that.
All right. We approve. Commissioner comments? Oh, we didn't vote yet, sorry, getting a little confused here. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next, commissioner comments.
Mr. Chair, I recommend a 5-minute recess, please.
5-minute recess there is. Oh, well, is there anything from admin?
Briefly, the monthly report from LEAP was included in the packet, and the highlight of that was the recommendation or the approval of by the Next Michigan Corporation, the NIOWAVE IFT, Industrial Facilities Tax Exemption. I don't know if Commissioner Showers wants to add anything to that. And otherwise, there was one other brief thing, Mr. Chair, relative to an update that I was going to have Mr. Campbell provide on the Fairgrounds project.
Can make this quick, so just wanted to give you an update on the Fairgrounds Master Plan project that we've been working on, that you all had approved a couple months ago. So administration, John, myself, Rob Wooten from Facilities and Fleet, met with OHM Advisors, our consultant that's gonna help us with this project, Christine Spitzley, and of course Lynn Wilson, you recall, who's been helping us with planning and zoning. We met with them on October 30th for a kickoff planning meeting for this project. There were 3 main items discussed. First, determining the membership on the project steering committee. 2, scheduling of a steering committee kickoff meeting. And 3, a timeline for completion of a draft Fairgrounds master plan. So number 1, steering committee membership. As we spoke with OHM advisors, they recommended a steering committee of a maximum of 10 individuals. The suggested membership would include 2 members from the Board of Commissioners, Commissioners DeLong and Rudat, 1 member from the Fair Board, Cora Decker, 1 member from the Fair Board Livestock Committee, Zach Wagner, 1 member from MSU Extension, and in the memo, it says Bill Hendrian, who's the director, or the district director for MSU Extension. However, I received an email late yesterday that he was proposing to change that to Carissa Harris to be the member on the steering committee. 1 member from the Clinton County Farm Bureau, Christy Kalin, I hope I didn't mispronounce that. 1 member from the St. John's FFA chapter, Samantha Bougie, thank you. So Samantha Bougie. 2 members from county administration, Mr. Fuentes and myself, and then 1 member from facility and fleet services, which would be Mr. Wooten. Secondly, steering committee kickoff meeting is currently being planned for sometime in January, February of '26. The steering committee will determine the stakeholders, and a number of stakeholder meetings will be conducted. So even though somebody may not, or a group may not be specifically on the steering committee, there will be multiple opportunities for comments at the stakeholder meetings that we'll be having. And then lastly, the proposed timeline for having a draft of the Fairgrounds Master Plan available for review is August 1st of '26 during the 4-H fair. So that's the target. And then just a quick note, John has designated me as the main point of contact, so if anybody needs any questions or comments, they can reach out to me. Be happy to talk with them. And the last thing I would say, if there's any questions, would be that we would recommend that the Ways and Means Committee make an official recommendation to the BOC to accept this membership as a steering committee, make an official motion to do that.
Okay. So you heard what the motion is?
Yeah,
Recommendation?
I'll make the motion. Excuse me, do we need a motion or just a recommendation?
A motion for
Motion for
recommendation.
recommendation of these folks, yeah, to serve on that committee.
Okay, I did that.
I will support. I do have one thing that would be, is it possible to have an alternate identified within facility and fleet? Just in case? Like your main person and an alternate, sometimes we do that for different committees.
Rob's always here.
Rob's always here.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it would be his deputy, Christie. I can clarify that. I don't know if that would necessarily need to be part of the motion.
Like an official person who could stand in if he wasn't there. That's the reason, I just know that he's got a good staff and he's busy.
Sure. Again, I don't know that that needs to be part of the motion, but it certainly could be. It wouldn't change the effect. Actually, I would kind of prefer that it not, because we didn't address that alternate with any of the other. I don't want to raise questions in that regard, so it's a commitment.
Could we have the question answered prior to the Board of Commissioners meeting and not include it in the motion?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for the recommendation of these individuals for the steering committee membership. I know I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Support.
On support. Any further discussion?
I hope not.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
5-minute break. 10:13, we'll call the Human Resources Committee to order. Firstly, do we have any additions to the agenda?
I do not, ma'am.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Do we have support for that?
Support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Limited public comment. Do we have anyone in the public who would like to share anything here? No? Okay. Glad to have you here, though. Yeah, what?
Did you? Okay. Okay.
Okay, well, I guess I will say something. I was just speaking with Brian and Dwight that I would, I'm sorry.
Name and address for the record.
Okay, thank you. Jesse
Name and address
Stimpak,
for the record.
3415 West Clark. And I was gonna send an email out to John just to invite our commissioners to come out to a Clayton County Catalyst Business Roundtable at Reno's for lunch. So I was gonna try and figure out a good date for that, and we would love to have you guys and just hear a little bit more about how our business owners and nonprofits are working together to encourage economic growth in the county. So thank you very much, and I will be sending out an email. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, we'll move on to the employee life insurance benefit.
Yes, included in your packet is a memo with a recommendation that we, excuse me, increase the amount of county-provided life insurance benefit from the current $28,000 amount to $50,000. That maximum of that benefit has not changed in excess of 20 years. We have been in discussions in administration about the possibility. We did seek a price quote from our current benefit provider. We moved to increase the benefit now, effective January 1. It's not an increase in the cost, other than it's not an increase of the rate. The cost is more because of the volume increases, but the rate of the applied to the benefit does not increase. And if we do that now, we'll guarantee the rate will continue to be guaranteed through January 1st of 2028. So I am recommending or seeking approval of the recommendation to increase that county provided life insurance benefit for employees from $20,000 to $50,000, effective January 1st.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, everyone. I'm assuming this is term life. All right. Next, we have the committee appointments. Let's see. We are doing, sorry.
Can we do these in mass, or do you want them individually?
What are the rules for that?
If you're going, there are some that I don't believe you are prepared to move on, so you should, answer your question, all the ones that are recommended could be taken as one item. But I just want to be clear on what you're moving on.
Just one, right? That's planning commission.
No, there are several that are
Which ones
expiring
are
at the
they?
end of December, and that's what I was seeking clarification from.
So right
Chair.
now, I understand that the building authority, the ones that we have talked about, Penny, would you mind reading those to you? The ones that we had discussed that are, because I believe it's Patrick McFarland, Kevin Douglas, Lynn Weber, Dennis Straley, Tim Hanna. Did I miss any? Gary Borson, Pat Jackson, and the medical examiner. Are those the ones that we are all? And Eric Harder.
I believe you've read them all, yes.
Okay.
The only two that I was not prepared that make a motion for was the Construction Appeal Board and the Zoning Board of Appeals.
That's okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
And
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
And-
and then there are some planning.
the planning commission as well, are you?
I'll be dealing with those today.
Okay.
All right, so we are looking to appoint Dwayne Schneider to the Solid Waste Council, Steve Wiswasser to the Building Authority, Kevin Douglas, Lynn Weber, and Dennis Straley to the Central Dispatch Administrative Policy Board, Tim Hanna to the Community Mental Health Board, Eric Harger to the DPW Board, Gary Borson and Pat Jackson to the Planning, Parks and Green Space Commission, and the Deputy Medical Examiner to be Petra Rahman?
Yes.
Rahman? Okay,
You missed
Also
the transit.
Did you miss Clinton Transit?
and Patrick McFarland for Clinton Area Transit. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Sorry about that.
Based on the chair's discussion, I would move those appointments.
Support.
Any discussion?
I serve on the Clinton Area Transit System. I've also worked professionally with Mr. McFarland. He's been a great asset to the board. I really enjoy his input. He comes with a lot of knowledge and forward thinking, and I think he's a great candidate to reappoint for that transit system, so.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to all our folks who are willing to serve in those capacities.
Thank you for, I think.
Yep. Administrators report, anything additional?
No, ma'am, I do not have anything additional.
Any other business? No?
I do have one one request.
Sure.
When it comes time for replacing Mr. Saratakis, that we find somebody from the southern tier, which would be anybody who doesn't use planning and zoning services, municipalities, to have a balance. At this juncture, in my opinion, there are too many people on there now that are not objective in their thinking, and we need to have him replaced by someone, I don't care if it's St. John's or East Lansing or wherever it happens to be, or Watertown, to fill that role so we have some balance. And according to the state constitution, we're supposed to do that anyway. And as a matter of practice, we never have in my time, which we need to correct. This board, that commission does not belong to the 10 townships, belongs to Clinton County. And according to federal statute, all counties, all institutions should have representation from districts by population. And that would fulfill that requirement.
Thank you, duly noted. Does anybody else have any commissioner comments today?
Other than happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
All right. And, I have one thing, I'm glad to see partnerships growing between the townships and the Board of Commissioners, because we can solve the problems together. The more help we get, the better. And I also have one last thing to say. One of my jurisdictions was approached to sign an NDA, and I hope this stops happening. That's all I will say on that.
We should talk about it separately. I'd like to know what that's about.
Sure. Okay. Anything else?
Well, let me say, because the fiasco in Eagle, we get blamed for that. We had zero to do with that. We represented Eagle as an agent, not as a authoritative board. They chose, as do the other 9, 10 now, to use our services, but we're not required by statute or legislative enactment to provide that service at all. And they've been getting it free for 60 years. So just so people are clear, we didn't invite in the CHIP plan. We had nothing to do with that. And NDAs were signed. I heard all the nonsense about NDAs I don't want to hear anymore. There's a purpose for those. They're not evil. And I'll be curious whichever of your townships is having this issue, be very careful, because the entire board in Eagle got replaced because they did not understand their own people's feelings. And it wasn't LEAP who did it. LEAP went to their board as prescribed by law, got their assent. Later, we're told, well, LEAP is bad. They didn't do that. That was their own board did that. They could have told LEAP no then. LEAP would have walked away. But just so it's clear on the record. Thank you.
That's what we, just make sure that's out there, people know how to handle it. That's all I've got. Anything else? Meeting adjourned?
You can still make your field trip, eh?